guys, this is Gaming with Eli, and welcome back to our life. Sorry this is going up so late, and sorry things are kind of funky. I explained this in a community upload, or a community update post thing. But coming back from vacation right into having overtime, kind of fucked with my energy levels. So I haven't had time to really do much of anything during the week, so all of this is getting done over the weekend. Because at one point during this week I slept for 13 hours, and that was an experience. So until I kind of get back into a rhythm, we're just gonna have weekend uploads, and as long as I have these weekend uploads, we will still not be streaming Planet Zoo, so sorry about that. Anyway, going past my boring update, let's do our next moment. Grown up, what does this mean? One sweltering summer day, you were in your living room with Cove, listening to the sounds of the birds chattering outside the window while you lay across the rug on the floor. Cove's dad had dropped him off earlier, and your moms had left the two of you, along with Lizzie, to play amongst yourselves. It had been too hot to go outside in the afternoon, at least according to Mommy, so your sister was starting to get impatient waiting for her golf class that evening. The three of you had had trouble finding something fun to do. The beach and the playground were off limits, and you felt that it was too warm for anything like playing with your fuzzy toy animals. Then suddenly, a light came to Lizzie's big brown eyes, and her smile spread wide across her face. Having an idea gave her a new wave of energy. Since we're stuck inside, we should be adults. They don't play outdoors anyways. They're always inside and telling everyone they're too busy to play. Also, because it's been quite a while, I don't remember the voice that I had for Lizzie, so I guess we're gonna stick with this one for now, at least. Ah, God, there's something in my eye! It's making everything blurry! Don't like it!
Why?
Oh.
Duh!
I said why, and it'll be fun. Duh. I got it kinda right. What do they do inside that we don't? Besides use the phone a lot. Excluding? Do you mean exuding? A small huff. Oh no, excluding. That's her acknowledgement. I see, I understand. Excluding a small huff, Lizzie decides to ignore Cove.
What do you think?
Eli, what do you think? Do you want to? I bet we could come up with something else. I'm not an instigator. I can't. I bet we could come up with something else. But that's what I'm going to do, and it's not as fun when I play pretend adults by myself. Do you do that a lot? I was just thinking that! What's it to you? Looking at Lizzie, it seemed Cove felt he could understand where she was coming from, and he sighed. Do you really not want to play, Eli? It's clear he wanted some way out, but still felt guilty about it. He kept hesitating, because I don't know how to answer. Looked down at your hands, still unsure. Apparently tired of waiting for you to make up your mind, Lizzie sighed. Fine! Go play over there, Eli! You flinched from her raised voice. It definitely wouldn't be fun to join now. Oh, hell no it wouldn't. Me and Cove will do it ourselves. It's decided— No! Cove! I'm sorry! He looked back at you regretfully. I didn't mean to do that. No, I'm sorry! Now go on. Nodding goodbye to the two of them, you trailed off to find something else to do. Like he promised, Cove stayed put with Lizzie for the next couple hours while you... I've always been a reader. Read a book. You could hear them talking as you sat with a book by the window. You opened the picture book in your lap and immediately got lost in the story. It's about a little donkey who grew up on a farm, making friends with all the animals and pretending to be like them. I will say, by the time I was 8, I was way past picture books. I was... Let's see, 8 was... what? 2nd or 3rd grade? I was on chapter books by then. I was on books way outside my age bracket. I remember reading Christopher Pike in 5th grade. And getting made fun of. Because even though it wasn't inappropriate because you couldn't see anything in detail, I got made fun of for the fact that one of the books that I was reading had the silhouette of a naked lady on it. That sticks out in my mind. I had people laughing at me on the bus for that. Anyway. It's about a little donkey who grew up on a farm making friends with all the animals and pretending to be like them. You liked the part where she swam around in the pond with the ducks. It always made you laugh. You finished that book and went to get another, but before you could choose one, you noticed that Lizzie and Cove's voices were getting much louder. Curious about what was happening, you craned your neck to hear them better. At first, you mostly only picked up on Lizzie's high-pitched shouting, giving orders, telling Cove what to do, yelling about sports and the Olympics. That was pretty typical for Lizzie, so there was nothing new there. But then you started hearing Cove more and more as time went on. It sounded like they weren't having a very good time. I didn't mean to leave Cove by himself. I hoped that by hesitating, Lizzie would have given up on it on both of us. I have to see what's going on. You bent in your cozy reading spot to go check on what was happening with them. Hey, is something wrong? From up close, you could see that your sister was red-faced and pouting, while Cove mostly just looked confused. No one paid you mind.
Cove.
Shut up, Cove! You're being so unreasonable. You... I don't get what you want. This game doesn't make sense. Just grab that.
Ugh.
It does. You have to be realistic. I said that. But you're not. You worried that the two of them were getting a little too angry over whatever it was. You had no idea what to do to make them stop at this point. It seemed like the two of them would just keep working each other up as long as they could. Had the two of them been arguing like this the whole time? Thankfully, like a greeting card angel, Mom walked into the room. Lizzie rushed to her, hanging onto the hem of her shirt and poking out her tongue at Cove. Mom. Lizzie, Eli, it's time to get ready to go.
You alright with that?
Sorry to have to leave already, Cove. Their mommy said she'll walk you home so you won't be left in the cold. Cove was still glaring at Lizzie, his face flushed red with anger. I can go by myself. But...
Bye.
Bye, Eli. There's still a harsh edge to the brief farewell, but you knew it wasn't you he was mad at. Without giving Mom a chance to stop him, Cove stood up and stalked out of the room, shoulders drawn tight.
Huh?
Okay. Worried, Mom turned to look down at you and Lizzie. You two were playing nice with our new friend, weren't you? We were playing pretend and things got intense. They were like cats and dogs. We weren't. They were. Her sister's jaw dropped, looking betrayed, as Mom put both hands on her hips. Elizabeth! I told you to be kind to him. He's having a hard time right now. Lizzie's mouth closed back up, replaced by a tiny frown. I know. I tried, but he was... Just grabbing that.
That's enough.
No buts. We both know you can show someone a great time when you put your mind to it. We're going to apologize to Cove and his dad over the phone when he gets home from work tonight. Lizzie hung her head, dragging a foot across the ground in front of her. Okay, Mom. Good girl. You caught pieces of Lizzie sulking to herself about how it was his fault too, but it was over. Alright, we better get a move on.
Let's go.
Let's go, kids. Noelani, where did you leave the car keys? Mom hustled you all out the door, and you noticed during the car ride to golf practice that Lizzie was quieter than usual. She was usually the first one to request which music to listen to in the car, but she didn't say a thing. Your parents noticed she wasn't in a mood to be bothered. They gave her space, and Mommy just asked what you'd like to listen to. Say a movie. It sounded like Lizzie was the instigator because she was already in a bad mood when we started. I would be vindictive and I wouldn't want to cheer her up, so soundtrack to a cool movie. Eventually Lizzie came around and started singing along with you. She acted like she was grown up most of the time, but you knew she liked the movie too. When the car ride was over, you spent the twilight hours watching Lizzie hit things with other girls her age. You didn't know much about golf, but you could tell that she really liked it, so you sat with your moms and tried to puzzle it out. It was nice sitting outside after being cooped up in the house all day, and you stretched out your legs to let the last few minutes of sun warm your skin. When the sun was finally out of sight, dipping behind the horizon, you all got ready to leave. Instead of going straight home, your moms took the family out to dinner. You went to a restaurant you had all been going to ever since you could remember. Earlier, you'd only caught the tail end of your sister's argument with Cove, but you could kind of tell that this all helped Lizzie be less angry. The car ride home was quiet, with only the radio providing escape from silence. Lizzie had been in better spirits now, but the closer you got to your neighborhood, the more she wiggled in her seat and frowned out the window. She doesn't want to make that phone call. She knew what was coming when you all got back home. Clearly, she was dreading it. Soon enough, Mom was turning into your street, then reversing into the driveway. Once she cut the ignition, it was dead silent. No one spoke, only unbuckled their seatbelts and opened their doors. Lizzie was the last one out. Once everyone was inside and done taking off their shoes, she propped her hands on her hips.
So?
Now then, Mr. Holden's car is in his driveway, so he should be back from work. That's good news, isn't it, Elizabeth? You and Cove can hash things out before the day's done. Lizzie didn't complain or put up a fight. Her head ducked so she didn't have to meet anyone's eyes. She nodded once. Good. Let's move this to the kitchen. Mom went over to the house phone and the rest of you still following behind her. Mommy put a gentle hand on Lizzie's shoulder as they walked side by side. You watched them from the back. This was only happening because you told on Lizzie. She deserved it, though. Yeah, but it was her fault for doing it in the... I just said that, but... Yeah. Ben done anything wrong by telling the truth. It wasn't like Lizzie was going to say it on her own. The four of you stood around the kitchen in a lopsided square. All eyes were on Lizzie, who kept her gaze on her feet. You remember the number for Cove's house, don't you, honey? Lizzie jerked her head in another nod, sullen. Without further prompting, she stepped forward and began to dial. Mom reached over and pressed a button on the base. Suddenly, you could hear the phone ringing. She turned on the speaker. The phone rang for a couple times, then stopped. Mr. Holden's warm voice came through the other end. Evening, Holden residence. Lizzie looked over at Mommy, unsure. She nodded encouragingly. Hi, Mr. Holden. It's, Lizzie. Can I talk to Cove?
Absolutely.
Lizzie Mousy? What a surprise. But of course you can say hey to the boy. He sounded cheery as usual, though definitely meant it when you said it was a surprise. You thought hard, and you were sure that your sister had never called Cove's house before. Mom spoke up before Mr. Holden or Lizzie could say anything more. Her arms were crossed over her chest, her lips pursed. Hi, Cliff. Noelani, Eli, and I are here too. Good evening. We're sorry to bother you so late. Hi, Mr. Holden. The gang's all here, huh? Is something the matter? His voice grew a bit concerned. Mommy was quick to reassure him. No, well, yes, but it's going to be okay. Lizzie and Cove got into a bit of a fight today. We were hoping that the two of them could talk and make up. Is this a good time for you and Cove?
What?
A fight? Cove didn't tell me anything about that when I came home. It does explain the funk he's been in tonight. He chuckled lightly. Despite that, it didn't seem like he really thought it was funny. Anyway, it's good you didn't catch us at a bad time. I'll go grab him for you. There was some shuffling on the other end. He must not have gone far because you could still hear him calling out. Cove, there's someone on the phone for you. After a beat of silence, there was more muffled talking from Cove's dad. Come on, bud. Lizzie called just so she could talk to you.
Are you sure?
Eli's on the other end listening too. Don't you want to say hi? Took a bit of back and forth, though the conversation seemed one-sided since you couldn't hear Cove properly. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad.
Hi.
Hello? Hey, it's Lizzie. This might also be good to grab. Yeah, I know. Dad told me. Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her, though, and Lizzie turned away.
Sorry.
I just called to say I'm sorry for not playing, nice with you today. I won't do it again. Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everyone. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. Okay, I guess I'm sorry too. A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology. Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. He wondered if she thought that he'd refuse her apology. Dad, can I get off the phone now? You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortably the entire time, really. Mood! I hate phone calls!
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though. Bye, Lizzie. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Eli. You perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled even if he couldn't see it. Bye, Cove. That said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up.
That's a relief.
All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it. As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. Can I go now, too?
Good job.
Sure, sweetie. Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove. Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. You were glad that was the end of it all. Lizzie and Cove might not get along, and probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. Alright. So, I wonder how much of that... Let's save here. Just because I might want to go back and just see how different that scene is. Actually, yeah. Let's find out what they were fighting about. Just
Why?
Duh.
to
What do you think?
get... Okay. We can come up with something else, but then... Okay, I'll stay. I hope this is as fun as you're promising it'll be. Lizzie looked at you dead serious. It's the most exciting idea I've had all week. Satisfied that neither of you were about to bail on her, Lizzie thought over her options while you watched. After a few seconds, she clapped her hands together and beamed, apparently having settled on something without asking either of you.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna be professional golfer. Eli, you and Cove can be a beach volleyball player, gymnast, or a tennis player. Why can't we pick anything we want? Because I have a fun idea, that's why. And we have to play sports as adults? Yep. But there's other kinds of sports too.
Right?
It isn't the same. What do you think, Eli? Don't those choices sound super cool? You want to be that, huh? Isn't there anything else we can do? Lizzie stomped a foot on the ground. No! Come on, just decide already! Knowing Lizzie wouldn't let this go anytime soon, you sighed. Cove was not impressed with Lizzie's attitude, though he didn't bother talking about it for now. He thought over the list of possibilities. Beach volleyball, gymnastics, or tennis. Of all of them, you preferred to play... I would say gymnastics. I would never in my life be able to have ever been a gymnast. I'm a little too klutzy for that. But I have a friend whose younger sister did actually my friend also did gymnastics. But I have seen videos of their younger sister doing gymnastics, and I swear that child had no bones. She was doing a cycle of backflips, and this girl basically just turned into a circle. Let's go to gymnastics. If you couldn't spend the afternoon doing cartwheels and handstands in the backyard, you might as well practice them inside. There wouldn't be as much space as if there was outside, but you could still try. Yes, that's clearly the top option. Okay, I'm gonna be a gymnast. Alright. How about you, Cove? I picked volleyball. I should have known. Okay, so Eli, you're a famous gymnast, and Cove, you're on a popular beach volleyball team, and Lizzie's ponytail bobbed when she proudly stretched her arms wide. We're Olympic athletes who just competed in the Olympics. Cove didn't seem all that impressed with the announcement. He made a face and adjusted the glasses on his nose. That's really specific.
Rude.
That's what makes it fun. Anyway. Lizzie marched back and forth in front of the both of you, getting lost in her own imagination. I won all gold medals, and people are calling me the next Mickey Wright. Who's that? Lizzie stopped on the spot and turned on him, her brown eyes shining with impatience. Doesn't matter if you know who she is. It's a golf thing. You guys won medals too. Cove, your team was bronze, and Eli, you barely missed out on the gold and got silver. It's more real if we're not all in first place. I wouldn't say anything. You stayed silent and looked at your hands. Next to you, Cove leaned towards Lizzie with a frown.
Sorry.
Lots of people lose at the Olympics. Them's the breaks. Then you're the one who did, not me. Lizzie was taken aback by Cove's declaration, as though the thought of her losing was completely absurd. No way, it wouldn't make sense. I'm already practicing my golf game. She took a golfing stance to make her point, pretending to swing her club and hit an invincible ball. So what kind of house do you want to live in? Cove hadn't changed his mind about winning, but thinking about where he'd live as an adult appealed to him apparently, because he looked back at Lizzie with some of the anger fading. I'm gonna live on the beach. Lizzie made a face at him, poking out her tongue. It's kind of boring. We already have that. No, not like the normal houses on here of the street. On it. Right in the sand. By the water. Just like that, all the tension was back. Oh no. I hadn't even had a chance to choose where you would want to live. That's not very fun or smart, Cove. You can't live on a beach of sand and shells. Or land on a bunch of sand and shells. But I want to, and I will. Cove narrowed his eyes at Lizzie, even though she stood half a head taller than him. You didn't give out a list of things to pick from this time, so I'm picking that. Why are we even playing pretend if we can't imagine anything? Jeez, well, I'm gonna live in a mansion far away from here and far away from you. Home with an indoor pool and a place to practice my award-winning golfing.
It's not fair.
How come you were yelling about mine when your idea is even more impossible? Lizzie's face flushed red, her hands balling into fists at her side. It's not impossible, and it's better than yours. Disagreements always seemed to crop up when the two of them were together, and you always felt like you were stuck in the middle. But when it came to the topic at hand this time, you thought... Cove was right. Cove's idea is good. You shouldn't say yours is the only right one. No one asked for your opinion. He smiled slightly over the agreement, then turned to Lizzie with bolstered confidence. You can swim whenever you want to if you live on the beach. We can still swim anytime we want from where we live now. Being a little closer doesn't mean anything. Says you. The two of them scowled at each other. You're being unreasonable. You... Okay. And now we are back to what we've seen before. Now that's not going to be my canon. I just really wanted to see what the argument was about. I was very curious. And because they didn't elaborate on it, I had to find out myself. So it will be continuing from the other one. And yeah. It was interesting that had more to do, honestly, with Lizzie and Cove than it did me and Cove. But I was there. But yeah. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Maybe tap that notification bell and share with your friends. See you on the flip side. Eli out.